Hello you lovely lot, thank you for joining me for another video. Today we are talking about my June TBR, so every book that I really want to aim to get to in the month of June. I have 5 physical books on my list as well as 1 on my Kindle. Now I am such a mood reader that I thought these are the reads I want to prioritise, but I'm leaving some room for any that might just kind of slip and sneak their way in there, which is typical and bound to happen with the way I like to read. And with that being in mind, I've picked some romantasy/fantasy and contemporary romance reads for this month. So let's dive in and talk about what is on the menu for June. First up is Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. As you may or may not have seen, I am currently reading the Throne of Glass series. I've never read it before and I am vlogging the entire journey. Over on TikTok, I've created a series called Confessions of a Bookaholic where I confess to not reading some of the biggest, most popular BookTok series ever. And I pulled out Throne of Glass first, so I will be pulling out a new series to read once I've completed each other series. So you can go over there on TikTok and watch that, but I do film more long form content on the read and vlogs over here on YouTube. I am reading Throne of Glass next. I'm already 20 pages in and can already understand why people told me to read Assassin's Blade first. I feel like it's already given me so much more context to the beginning of the story, and I'm being introduced to so many new characters already. I am having the best time. It's really made me realise just how much I've missed Sarah J Maas's writing style. Like, it's filling that hole that I didn't realise I still had after finishing ACOTAR and Crescent City. So I am honestly so thrilled to be back in this world. So fingers crossed this journey just keeps getting better and better for me. Next up is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I am obsessed with Rachel Gillig. Let me be completely upfront and honest. She is unbelievable. Whatever she writes, I'm going to read it. She could write a shopping list and I would be running to go and read it. She is incredible. I love the dark gothic fantasy side of her books. It really draws me in and I just feel like I can picture the book and the world building and the characters so clearly. I can just see it so picturesque in my mind, and it genuinely feels like I'm watching a film rather than reading a book. I just have the best time with her writing style. So as soon as I saw that she was publishing this, I immediately went and pre-ordered. Now, what is it about? I don't know. So I thought we could just read the synopsis together. Sybil Delling has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. Like the other farming girls who traded a decade of service for a home in the great cathedral, Sybil is a diviner. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur, and lords and common folk alike travel across the kingdom of Trom's windswept moors to learn their futures by her dreams. It actually sounds really good. Just as she and her sister Divine is near the end of their service, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral. Rude, heretical and devilishly handsome, the knight Roderick has no respect for Sybil's visions. But when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in finding them. For the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. Only the gods have the answers she is seeking, and as much as she'd rather avoid Roderick's dark eyes and sharp tongue, only a heretic can defeat a god. I don't know what a heretic is, but I want to meet Roderick. I want to meet him so bad. So I am probably going to read this. I might actually read a chapter or 2 tonight. I might just treat myself and make a start on it. I just love it. And also, I don't like hardbacks, but how stunning is this cover? I am well and truly obsessed. I do believe this is another duology by Rachel Gillig and it's called The Stonewater Kingdom. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to dive into this. I am just hoping to get those 5-star gothic fantasy vibes from Rachel Gillig, just like she delivered in the Shepherd King duology. Also going to read A Fate Forged in Fire by Hazel McBride. This is a proof that was very kindly sent to me. I just haven't gotten around to reading it yet. Again, I wanted to be in the mood, but I'm really feeling like June is the month that I want to dive into this, and as you can tell already, a lot more fantasy books. This, I'm not too sure. All I know is that it's about dragons, and I'm very intrigued to see how I feel about this book. I've not read anything with dragons in since Fourth Wing. I think that's the only dragon related book I've read. So I'm very interested to see how Hazel McBride describes dragons and how they look in her world. So yeah, very interested to see how this goes. Okay, should we just read the synopsis together? Like, why not? I feel like I'm on CBeebies, you know, when they're reading kids' books online, like on the telly. That's what I feel like I'm doing. Born to rule, blessed by fire, broken by desire. In a fate forged in fire, a powerfully blessed blacksmith must use her wits and fire magic to become the first queen of centuries and overthrow the corrupt powers ruling the kingdom, while also fighting her desire for her dragon riding adversary. The first book in a sizzling, Celtic-inspired fantasy romance duology. Oh, see, I didn't know it was a duology, which makes me even more excited about this because it's not as big of a commitment. I quite like reading duologies. Again, they just feel a little bit more doable than a full series, so I'm really looking forward to this. No doubt I'm probably going to have a really hard time trying to work out the pronunciations of the names in this, but you know what, we'll give it a go, we'll give it a whirl, and people can correct me along the way if need be. But yeah, this came out in May, very recently published, so yeah, we're going to dive into this in June. The last of the fantasy reads on my TBR for June is Foxglove by Adeline Grace. This is the second book in the Belladonna series, and I loved Belladonna so much. Again, I love a gothic fantasy, and that is exactly what Belladonna was, and I'm hoping Foxglove is going to give me the same type of vibes. Now, I don't want to read the synopsis because I think it might spoil what happens in Belladonna, and I'm not going to spoil that experience for anyone who hasn't read it yet. But Belladonna is honestly, it's like a murder mystery, but there's so many plot twists in it, and it's just very, very unique magic system, unique characters, the world building, everything is very original, and I love that about Adeline Grace's writing. It doesn't feel like a copy and paste job. I'm not saying the other books on my TBR might not feel original if they are series that I'm continuing on with, but I just think you can just spot a very unique idea from a mile away, and I just feel like it was very unique, the storyline and the plot of Belladonna, and I've not read anything like it that I can compare it to, which I love. So I am excited to get back into this. I don't really have any rhyme or reason as to why I've waited so long to jump back into this series, but we're here now, I'm going to carry on with it, and I'm really excited. I am hoping that it does carry on from where Belladonna left off, because it gave us the most ridiculous cliffhanger, so I guess I'll have to read it and find out. Now moving on to contemporary romance, I'm going to be reading Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. I am obsessed with Ashley Poston's writing. I just cannot get enough. The 7 Year Slip, The Dead Romantics, A Novel Love Story, all three of her books have been incredible and such enjoyable reads. If you are not familiar with Ashley Poston's style of writing, she writes magical realism. So it is magic, but in a realistic setting, like you could see and imagine it happening in day-to-day life kind of thing. I am just obsessed. I fully immerse myself into Ashley Poston's books, and I feel like I engage with the characters and have such a connection with them in every single one. So I am looking forward to Sounds Like Love. It's been a while since I had a new Ashley Poston release, so I am itching to get this open. This actually releases on the 17th of June, so I will be reading and reviewing before release date, just to let everyone know if it's worth picking up or not. I'll always be completely honest with my reviews, but I think it's how you're honest. So if I don't recommend something, I will just be very clear in saying that it wasn't for me, but it might be for you. I don't agree with slamming or shaming authors. I don't like that. So I'm hoping it's for me because I love Ashley Poston, but we will see. The reason that I'm kind of on the fence about this one is because it is about music. Now, what I cannot deal with is singing in books. No, I physically cannot read singing scenes, like full-on lyrics, without cringing. I can't do it. Twisted Love, when Alex started singing, I had to just place the book down and go for a short walk. And it did hurt me to finish the rest of the book because I just saw his character in this new light and was like, oh, do we have to? I just don't like it. It's not for me at all. So things like that, I clock out. I'm finished mentally. I can't do it. So I'm hoping that it doesn't really have anything like that in here. hope. I don't know. It is a book about songs and music, so we'll see. But I can read the synopsis of this one, and sod it, let's just do it. So it says, Joni Lark wants to create the melodies that get stuck in your head and your heart. Her hometown has always given her surf, sound and inspiration, but when her parents decide to close the family music venue, Joni's life begins to fall off key. She couldn't possibly write another song, until a melody comes to her half-formed and with an imagined voice that she can't forget. But when the very real, very aggravating man behind the voice shows up in Vienna shores, Joni can no longer deny their inexplicable telepathic connection. To get out of each other's heads, they'll have to finish the song haunting them both. There's just one problem, they can't agree on anything, and if they don't change their tune, it might just end in heartbreak first. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. It seems very different to the other books that I've read by Ashley Poston, but do you know what? I'm going to give it a go, see what happens. But this is my top contemporary romance book for June. So yeah, we'll get to this after we've read a few fantasies. The final book on my June TBR is Caught Up by Nevessa Allen. I am foaming at the mouth for this one. I love Nevessa Allen's writing so much, and Lights Out is incredible. So if Caught Up is anything like that, I know I'm going to be obsessed. Lights Out was the first book that I read from Nevessa Allen, and it's a dark romance comedy. So basically a rom-com with dark features in there. So please do check your triggers if you are wanting to read that. I do highly recommend. I loved it, and it was just so funny, but also really spicy, also very action-packed. Like, it just gave me everything that I wanted and needed from a book. It was fantastic. I loved it, and I think Caught Up is a spin-off of one of the characters from Lights Out, so I believe they're going to be interconnected standalones. I don't know how many are going to be in this series, if there is one, but I'm so stupidly excited for release day tomorrow. I am going to be putting my other books on pause to read that on release day, because I've not read a dark romance in ages, and I just like switching up the vibes a little bit now and again. So yeah, let me just try and get the synopsis, because I don't know what it is, so let's look together. Basically, I was going to read the synopsis, okay? I've attempted this 3 times. There are multiple words within the synopsis that I cannot pronounce for the life of me. I'm getting so angry at myself because I keep trying and I can't pronounce them. I'm butchering names, I'm butchering words. So, do you know what? It's a dark romance. Let's just leave it at that. Do you know what I will do? I'll insert the synopsis here. Pause if you want to read it, because I cannot read that on camera. In my head, great. On camera, no. I'm butchering every single word. But anyway, that is my June TBR. Again, I'm leaving some room for some books that I'm probably going to pick up during my mood reading sessions. So I do have my eye on a few already, but if there's something that you think that I really need to pick up, then please let me know. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It would be fantastic to have more of you part of the gang. And you can find me over on TikTok and Instagram and Goodreads. All my links are down below in the description, and it'd be so nice to connect with more of you. So thank you again for being here, and I will see you in the next video.